So if you've received your login information for JCCA.me, you can access JCC directory with that and update your record if need be. Put yourself on a listserv, or remove yourself from a listserv, or change your title position if there is a necessity. If you do not remember your password, or if you have a problem logging into JCCA.me, you can either go to password reset and it will ask for your email and you can send an email, or you can come directly to me and send me an email and say, I do not know how to log in, or I was able to log in, I misplaced my password, which a lot of times we here, of course, and we are in the situations because really we are pushed to remember so many passwords these days. And even though we do have to remember many passwords, I would still advise you to please never, never, never put your last name as a password, because that really essentially defies the purpose, especially if you are an executive director, or if you're in charge of security and you have access to specific information on JCCA.me, which has limited access. If I do see in someone's record by accident a password which consists of only their last name or their first name, please know that I will have to reset your password and I will send you a new password. So this is just a very logical security precaution. Next, this is where you would come in, where once you signed in to JCCA.me. Notice that I'm signed in here with my own profile, which means that you will see a little less than I do over here. But essentially, you will see the same page, and you can go here by clicking on this arrow down and change your profile. This is where you can change your password. This is where you can put some information about yourself if you wish. This is where you can start a blog, and we can talk about that. This is your piece of JCCA.me. Notice that I have here number 48, which thankfully I don't have anymore, but these would be, if you see red numbers over here, these would be your personal notifications. And they can be ranging from Yulia Mazer updated your password, to if you are following somebody, for example, Michael Rowland, right? And you can see that Michael Rowland just posted or answered your question if you, for example, put a question to the audience, and so on. All kinds of different notifications, including, for example, maintenance outages, which usually are after hours, but sometimes, of course, they occur over the weekend or after hours, so it will tell that the system is scheduled for maintenance, stuff like that. We are here in what's called the knowledge base, and you can see it by tracing this path, which tells you that you were in your home, then you went to knowledge bases, which is here, and you are now in the arts and culture and adults, and you would also see here something that you would see on every single home page, whether it is a knowledge base page or whether it is the home page of a whole JCCA.me, which is upcoming trainings. And you see here our webinar is registered, and also 2 trips to Israel from different sizes of JCCs are listed. So any trainings, any webinars, a professional conference, a biennial, and so on and so forth would be listed here. You can always take a look at this calendar. Then here we are in a different knowledge base, which is marketing and communications. You will always see within every knowledge base something that's called Explore Knowledge Base, which means these are documents within this particular knowledge base. You will see upcoming trainings, as we already said. You will see what's happening now, meaning the latest possible activity that was system-wide. So as I like the view from Jerusalem that Leah Garber wrote before Shabbat, you can see that I just like that document. By the way, I highly recommend Views from Jerusalem written by Leah. They are really beautifully written and give you a lot of information of what's going on in Israel today. Also, you will see a person or people that are in charge of this particular knowledge base or that department, in this case, Michael and Joanne. You will see some top content. There may be 1, 2, up to 5 documents here where we think that this is important for you and you don't have to look through this whole menu. You can just see them here. Also, one other thing that is present in every single knowledge base is something called listserv responses. This is exactly where I post your communications on the listservs. As you probably know already, if you guys ask each other a question, and we see that there are either many responses, a lot of people are interested in the subject, or maybe you have exchanged certain documents, samples, policies, since we're in marketing, maybe some marketing materials, samples of business cards or program guides. I will then summarize that conversation and I will post it under listserv responses, and we will see later on how do you find particular information about certain subjects. We are actually right here. Here I am in the membership listserv responses. You can search within any particular area of JCCA.me. You can search up there on the main page, or you can search within that particular area, and of course that will allow you to see many responses, but not overwhelmingly many responses, so it might be a little more convenient for you. Here I'm showing you that any document which lives within this menu, and here we are in the group fitness evaluations, and you can trace it over here. Any document possibly might have certain attachments, and I've seen people struggling sometimes with understanding when I send you a message saying, hey guys, now this conversation lives here. I will usually give you a path, a URL to this particular page, and some people are struggling with understanding that they actually need to click on one of these documents to be able to download them. So of course you can download these documents when they are here, and sometimes you will see just attachments, and a lot of times you would see both attachments and links, and sometimes only links. I'm going to pause for just 1 second and ask you if you have any questions. If I see them in chat, I will answer. Not so far, so we are going further. So these are the things to remember, and this is really just for the presentation. Again and again and again, make sure your password is secure. Usually if I give you passwords, I will somehow make them more or less understandable for you, depending on who you are, where you are. But I'm sure each of you have certain passwords that are obviously very familiar to you, and you would like to keep them. So please, if you are reassigning a password to yourself, please make it secure. When you're making a search, and we will go closer into it on JCCA.me, please do search for a phrase, because we will see some examples of not so intuitive searches. Look up in your knowledge base before you post any question to a listserv, unless it's something really urgent and you are for sure know that no one talked about this before. Please take a look in the JCCA knowledge bases and see maybe that type of information already exists. Do add comments to the posts on jcca.me, because this is how you communicate with your peers. It's essentially your communication tool, just like Facebook. So you can comment and engage conversations with your colleagues. And again, if you have questions, do email me, and I will try to help you out as much as I can. I saw a question just now, will I send passwords? So if you are not sure, I will get to the listservs as well. But if you're not sure if you have a password, do send me an email, and I will send you your password. If any one of you will now tell me via chat that you're not sure whether you have passwords, I will email your passwords to you sometime after this webinar, but before the end of the day. Before we go to the live JCCA.me, let me answer another question that just came. How do you post a question to a listserv? It is very easy. If you are subscribed to a listserv, first of all, you should have, most of the time, when I build records or I put people on listservs, I will send them a letter saying you are now subscribed to these listservs. Each listserv has an email address. So in order for you to post a question to a listserv, it's very easy. You just send an email to that particular email address. For example, fitness@maillist.jcca.org. Every listserv will be at maillist.jcca.org. So if you are, controller, then the listserv will be controllers@maillist.jcca.org. So it's just an email address you need to send it to. If you are subscribed to the list, you can do this, and everybody will get your question, and you will be able to get all the answers. I just had a question that if a person was added to JCCA directory, will they automatically get an email from me with their username and password? No, they won't. You should notify me, or you can assign the password to that person if you are JCCA directory admin. Just again, make sure it's secure. And you can give that information to your employees. So here we are in the JCCA.me, and I am signed in as one of you, not as myself, specifically to show you what you see when you come in. I would want to start with the home page. So you see something from the professional conference. This would always be the last movement-wide event that we host, whether it's professional conference or biennial, and usually this will be plenary videos. So as you see, you can always go, my mouse is becoming a pointer, and you can always go and take a look at that area. This area is also more or less static because this is getting started on JCCA.me. So if you do need information after we finish our conversation, you can always come here and see some really great documents that Chris Strom, who is now at Metro West but was working with us, prepared for you to understand all the areas of JCCA.me and how to get where you want to be. Again, as soon as you come to a different area, you will of course see the path as to where you are. You can always come home by just clicking on JCCA.me. You will see information about JCC Maccabi, which is also timely, some brand tools information, and again, questions and answers just for JCCA.me. So the major areas that we see on the home page are these two, happening now and just posted, and training calendar that we already saw. This is basically what you will see within every knowledge base, happening now. So Pam Kalinowski just watched this document, and she marked it as favorite, which you could do. And if you do have favorites, over here you will see this star in a different color, just because it will show you which documents are in your favorites. Right, you will see that I added this particular, I liked rather this particular document of which I was already telling you about. I added another document. Vicky from Israel added view from Jerusalem, and so on and so forth. And you can scroll for really a few days of information on this site. Just posted would be similar to that, but this is only new documents. You will not see some documents that were updated. You will not see that someone marked something favorite or made a comment. You will just see the new documents that have been posted, when and who posted them, and you can go to either of those documents straight from here. Notice if I click on that, then I went to Knowledge Bases Aquatics, Aquatics Listserv Responses, Swim Lesson Parent Handbook, which was a conversation just recently happening on both fitness and marketing listserv. And as I explained earlier, here you could see some documents that you can download, and you can also see the links to certain information that colleagues of yours thought was important. So let's return quickly here. Who's blogging? This area is for people who are running for very like frequently, or maybe once in a while, but they are running a blog. You see some of that is from me. There's a blog from Liran, our new community shliha. And there's a blog from Michael Rowland, who is posting beautiful insights regarding marketing every week. And again, training calendar. And you can click on either one of these, and you can get more information about these events. I am bypassing searches so far and coming back to the main menu. JCC Movement Centennial, as many of you know, well, I would presume all of you know, this is the 100th year of JCC movement in North America. And you will see here the formal information about it. You will see some files for printing that you can use. You can see an explanation as to how to share your story with all the pertaining links and documents. So I do encourage you to take a look at this beautiful part of the site. This is a very important year for all of us. So please do familiarize yourself with this information. Next, we see People Directory. If you're looking for a colleague of yours or colleagues, or maybe a JCC, you will be able to see them here. And as you see, some of the profiles we already see immediately are a little more engaging because they have pictures, some a little less engaging, but every one of us essentially is here. So you can take a look as to where a person works and their phone number and maybe some other information about them. And you can search by name, or you can obviously, I don't know, say by last name, just like that. And you see that we have, it's very intuitive. It will give you more than you actually ask for. But I said Gray, and Lyle Gray's obviously here, right, on the tracker. So you will see pretty much everybody. You will see your own profile. So you can go here and edit profile, and there you'll be able to change your password. I'm not going to do it at the moment, but if you like for me to show it to you, I will then sign out and sign in with my own profile. Just don't want to go to a person who is unsuspecting and do something in their profile. And knowledge bases. So knowledge bases, we have all of these here. If you're an executive director, or you're in charge of security, then you will see a little more then it's here. But these are essentially the most important knowledge bases that we carry for everybody. And they are all, again, structured more or less the same. If we go to the first one, which is aquatics, or maybe we'll go actually to professional development, because it's really gigantic and I wanted to show you. You will see that, as I said, you will see the people in charge of that department, and you can connect with them straight from here by sending them an email. You will see the documents that they deemed important to be here, so that you don't have to go through this whole menu, of which I will show you. And you can go to that information straight here. Again, we have an Explore knowledge base, a few documents that were added fairly recently. You will see something that's happening system-wide again, and this is much more information because it's scrollable. And on the left, you will see the menu. So because we're in the professional development and training, this is really a gigantic knowledge base. And you can open each one of these. This is specifically the reason that we didn't want for you to come and see it open right away, because it's so big. You see that the biggest possibly menu is for human resources, because we would see that we have some hiring information. We have a lot of job descriptions. Many and many of you are sending questions to listservs about job descriptions. Please notice that we have job descriptions for every area. Maybe we won't have the most updated ones, that's for sure, but I do encourage you to come here first and take a look at the job descriptions that you see, and then ask a question. For example, Assistant Executive Director or Chief Operating Officer. As you see, we have really quite a few of these here. Once you are already in one of these documents, what is also pretty neat, I believe, is that the system will suggest documents that are close enough to what you're looking for. So if you are new to your position and you would like to know how to create a job description, then you can take a look here. Or you are in looking for Assistant Executive Director, and it tells you that they also have Executive Administrative Assistant, and you might want to come and look here, and so on. So I do encourage you to take a look first. As you see, again, this is giving us the whole path as to where this information is located. And let's see the searches, right, since we're here. You can start searching from any place you are in JCCA.me. So we have job descriptions, right? And you will see that on the main page, where we will come back again, you will see that some people are searching really for something very, very broad. So for example, if I say job right now, it will give lots and lots of information. As you see, we have 252 items just related to the word job. But if I do press enter right now, and I just stop on the word job, then you will really have so much that frustration is more or less inevitable. And I know sometimes people say, oh, it's just not possible to, to navigate JCCA.me or find something important that I really want. That's because you're searching too broadly. For example, if you say early childhood job, right? You will see that already on line 2 we have ECE job descriptions. So if you hit enter or click on that, then you will see that you are in the early childhood, in the resources, in the job descriptions, and you have a few job descriptions here, right? So it took us from the professional development knowledge base where we were over here to the early childhood and to the job descriptions there. So if you are here on home page and you try to search for something straight from here, which is fine, but do not search for this. If you search for the word they, then how many documents you will get? Probably thousands of them. Even if you search for the word camp, it's also really a lot of documentation. Sheva might be a little easier because if you search for the word Sheva, it still gives you 46 results. And see how quickly it gave me those results in 0.2 seconds. And you see all the documentation which has the word Sheva in it. So maybe if you search for Sheva poster, then the word Sheva posters will be the first one. You will see more posters. You will see posters from different JCC, but at least the generic Sheva posters are here. So I would advise you to make your search just a little more considerate of the amount of information that we have here, because really we have thousands and thousands of documents here. So I just wanted to go to a couple of new things. One of the new things that we've just established, and we've sent an email, I think, to the field, we had facilities knowledge area, not a knowledge base, but knowledge area within the executive resources, which meant that only executive directors were able to see it. We reconsidered this because we didn't find it convenient for you guys. And if you are in charge of facilities, then you're welcome to come here to facilities knowledge base. Again, this is one of the main areas, so it's right here, home, knowledge bases, facilities. And you will see this menu, which is not super extensive. The reason we've done it is because also some people who are not sort of even the main office related, they may be membership coordinators, they may be marketing coordinators, they may be different people that are tasked with rentals these days, because JCCs try to monetize their existence as much as they can, and naturally some of them are renting facilities. So you can come here and look at some documents regarding rentals, or if you know that there was a question on the rentals listserv, then naturally the answers will be here in the facilities and rentals listserv responses. We did not yet have any meaningful conversations about rentals, despite the very big buzz about new rental listservs that we created. But on the other hand, I have to say that not many people are still subscribed to the list. So if you think that this is something that will benefit your work, please do go to the directory and add yourself to the rental listservs, or alternatively, you can always come to me and send me an email, and I will be glad to put you on that list. And once you guys start communicating, this listserv will work the same way as any other listserv, meaning the conversations are going to be posted here. You also can post certain questions in within the documents themselves. For example, there's a document that was updated just recently. It's an old document, but it was updated with new answers, which what I usually do when we have a conversation on the same subject that already exists within the JCCA.meets here. I would usually update and put new information without destroying the old one. So if you were looking into this rental pricings and rates and you wanted to ask a question or make a comment, you can do it just here. You can write a comment. You can mention somebody if you want by clicking on this add. And I'm not going to do it just because I'm signed in as someone else. And post your question on your comment right here. So your peers will see and they will be able to engage with you and maybe answer, maybe give their own expertise, because this is what we are here for. There was a question, for example, recently about food service operations and whether any kashrut related issues are coming within operations of cafes and sometimes even restaurants and sometimes little food carts within JCCA.me. And as you noticed, this was updated just recently. So that means that I've added information to this file and I've put it here and I've updated it here. Let me pause for just 1 minute and see if you guys have any questions, and we'll go on. So no questions I hear. I don't see any hands and I don't see any chat. Okay, so basically the most important thing about JCCA.me is to really be intuitive and click around. You're obviously not going to be able to destroy anything or mess anything. So do click around, do take a look at what people are saying. And this is, by the way, by clicking just on the blog, you can see what Michael is writing. For example, it goes from newest to oldest, of course, so you can see it straight from here, either from top to bottom, or you can see the archives, for example, of any information. And this is a good example also of somebody's profile. They tell you what they do, where they are, and so on. You can also see conference resources here. Again, there might be a biennial information, and the information will be about all kinds of conferences. So, for example, if you haven't been to a professional conference this year and you would like to know what your peers were talking about, let's say in information technology, for example, and I'm not even sure, yes, we do have quite a few files here. So these were presentations about information technology, and I believe this was the first time at the professional conference when they were talking about that. So you can take a look at any document here and take a look at what was being said and who was saying it and how the conversation went. I do see a question, are lists of questions or responses emailed or only shown in listservs? I'm not sure I understand it well, but I believe what you're asking is whether the responses are emailed back to you. So let's say you are asking a question. Let's say you send a question to marketing and communications, for example, asking about something. Once you ask a question on the listserv that you belong to, everybody subscribed to that listserv will see your question. Whether they choose to answer you or not is obviously their preference and responsibility. We do ask that because listservs communications are meant for everybody, then certain rules be adhered to, and that's actually a great question regarding this. First of all, please do not say that, yes, I would like to see that information too, because everybody sees it. And if you get the question on the listserv, that means that whoever answers will answer to the list and everybody will see it again. So by saying I wanted to, you just basically put an additional strain on people who are opening the email and looking for an answer, and they just realize that, oh, you like that answer too, you would like to be informed. Of course you will be informed because that's how the listserv functions. So let's remember that. Also, again, if 5 or more, right, if you reply to the whole list, of course, you reply all, but that's a given because this is, again, this is not a communication between two people. If, for example, the topic that you are asking, and we had these situations before, if the topic that you are asking is really sensitive, what you can do, you can ask a question to the whole list and say, because this topic is very sensitive, I'm hoping that you can answer me directly. Another possibility, which again also we had before, there is sometimes a question that a JCC would like to ask, but because of the sensitivity of a topic, they would approach me and say, can you ask on my behalf? And I don't know, some of you might have seen it and might have not, but I usually do. I say, I'm asking on behalf of a JCC. Please answer to me directly if you feel that the topic is sensitive, and I will then summarize it and post it again. And then in this case, I would do it without JCC title if they don't want me to do. But more often than not, people will come back and say, oh, well, we also have this problem, so between us, we know what's going on, so it's okay to post our JCC name because it's going to benefit everybody. And again, if I have more than 5 or 6 responses within that conversation, or if the responses are including samples, certain materials, certain policies, certain links to websites that a lot of us might not know about, I will then summarize that conversation and I will put it on jcca.me, in which case I will always come back to you. It may be in a few days because I'm waiting for your responses. I will always come back to you and say that please look at these responses. They are now living here, and I will give you the exact URL, which is here. I will give you the exact URL of that document, so you can always know where the document lives. Couple of other points that I wanted to make. I'm not sure how many human resources or finance directors I have on the call, but just since I have your ears, I would like to post a request, rather, that we are collecting, as you know, a lot of data from JCCs. And the reason that we are collecting that data is because we are asked for this data all the time. We are asked for regional analysis. We are asked for JCC size analysis, not only by your executive directors, but by different department heads. So if you were asked by us to fill in a survey, usually the survey would come to the listserv. Some surveys would come particularly to a specific person. Then please do fill in the survey in the allotted time, because then it's going to be you who will ask us for that comparative information. And most importantly, of course, different types of salary surveys, of which I'm doing one right now, the biggest survey that we do triannually. Another knowledge base that I just wanted to touch base is strategic performance and benchmarking. I'm not sure how many of you know about benchmarking, but this is one of our greatest programs, I think. A lot of JCCs participate year after year, and we're starting a new benchmarking cycle actually right now. I would encourage you, if you're not familiar with benchmarking and benchmarking reports, take a look at this area of benchmarking and you and benchmarking reports, and it will tell you what's in it in your JCC coming from benchmarking, because we then share some exceptional practices in different areas of JCC performance, be it fitness, be it early childhood, campaign, user engagement, and so on. And as I said, this is a strategic performance and JCC benchmarking knowledge base. So this is pretty much all I wanted to tell you. I would ask you, I'm going to launch another poll, and I would ask you if you have any other topics regarding JCCA.me that you would like to see, you would like to maybe have a webinar on, or any other kind of conversation happening, please do answer the poll. Okay, so I see that people are interested in blogging, and more even in blogging than discussions. So if you are interested in blogging and you think that you have expertise to contribute, however rarely, maybe once every few months, maybe you can contribute once a month to blogging, please do come back to me, send me an email. I will open up a blog for you, discussing that with the department head that we have here in charge of your area of expertise. For example, if you are an early childhood professional, I will take it to Mark, and we will invite you to blog on JCCA.me, and I think it would be really great. If you're a facilities professional or rentals professional, that'd be great too. So we will just need to sort of understand what you're willing to discuss, and what title you would give, and so on and so forth. Very, very little bureaucracy there. And I would gladly walk you through blogging. It's really very self-explanatory. And discussions. If you can, if you are the person who says that you're interested in discussions, please again send me an email about what topics you would like to discuss, whether you would like to be a panelist on that discussion, whether you would like to bring that type of a discussion to one of the events. And as you know, we run multiple events. They may be professional development events, they may be arts and culture gatherings, they may be professional conference or biennial, or just a webinar like this one. I will be very happy to discuss that with you. So that'd be really great. Okay, so I'm going to close the poll. Thank you very much. I do see that no one else wants more on navigation, so that's hopefully explained to you now. Again, if you are unsure of your password, except for the two people that sent me an information, please send me a question and I will send you the login. I just see another question. If someone wants to add a listserv to their profile, can the JCCA.me administrator just add that listserv, or does Yulia need to edit? Well, first of all, I think we have a little bit of a confusion here. JCC directory administrator, not JCCA.me administrator. So if you have a JCC directory administrator at your JCC, usually that is 100% true. That is an executive director, but usually there are some other people, maybe one or two people, sometimes an HR director, who act as JCC directory administrator. They can add you to a listserv. You can add yourself to a listserv as well on your profile. You will only log into JCC directory with your own login. Again, it's the same as for JCCA.me. And you can add yourself to the majority of the listservs. And if neither of that options work for you for some reason, you're welcome to send me a message and ask me, oh, I want to be put on aquatics listserv, for example. Then yes, I will put you on. Unless these are specific listservs for executives, there are really no restrictions for you. You're welcome to be on any list you want. So that's a question. I am unable to log into jcca.me. Okay, I see who that is, and I will send you a login, again, until the end of the day. And hopefully that problem will be gone from your daily routine. Any other questions at the moment? Any other comments? Any other topics you would like to discuss apart from blogging and creating more discussions? I'm still here. Let's wait for another couple of minutes if you would like to ask me another question. Thank you very much for your kind comments. Great, thank you very much. And I hope this was helpful. I hope you will not be you will not be sort of standing away from navigating JCCA.me and seeing the resources that we have, again, of which we have really an abundance. Thank you so much for participating in this webinar. Again, summer is an interesting time. You have vacations, and yet you are very busy at the same time. So thank you